We're live on Facebook. Make sure I'm not on Wi-Fi here. All right, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Good to see y'all in here if you're coming in. And now we're going live on TikTok. Welcome in, welcome in. Log in to the news. All right. Let's see who we got here today. Let's share this out. We got one in here, Mission Bell 30. Welcome in, welcome in. We'll be talking about famine rising today. If my phone will act right. Billy Blaylock, welcome in. Baby G. Good to see ye. Baby G, good to see you. That rhyme, that's just in my head. I had to get it out. So I gotta get Beanie a notification. Beanie's my mod. Welcome in. Where's everybody from? Let me know where you at in the comments. Let's share this out to your friends. Let's get some folks in here. Have us a good old time today. Friend Beanie. There she is. Welcome on in. It's just a shame Trump survived. Auburn, Alabama. Hell, Beanie, you're here. I done sent that thing out to you. I didn't know you was here. Let's share this out. Let's get some more folks in here. The rules. We're going to tell you the rules. Do not mention my children. You can come in. We usually let the trolls come in and run their mouth a little bit. I can take it, but don't attack my mods. Don't go hollering about Trump. Don't go saying let's go Brandon. We don't do the politics. We are not on here for politics, so just keep that out. Or my mods will get rid of you. Do not mention my children. Yep, Beanie's giving you one more warning. I don't care if you troll here as long as you keep it respectful trolling. Finger gems. Also, if you try to, why giraffes have long necks, like what they're trying to prove. Look what what's they trying. That's the truth. I'm telling you right there. Linda, Landfair, welcome in. Let's talk about the famine rising. Everybody knows about the formula shortage, and it's gotten so bad. One of my favorite comedians on here, she does the Tammy skits. It's like, hey, Tammy here. Hey, guys, Tammy here. And she's always doing something. Sometimes it's vulgar, but sometimes it's just plain funny. But they were doing a skit in I don't know, Walmart. And you know those boxes that have the guns locked in? They had the dad blame baby formula locked in one of those cabinets so it wouldn't get stolen. What you doing, Prepper Nation? Good to see you. Tater salad. They call me tater salad. Gas and is $5. Yeah, now it's $4.69. It'll be $5 probably next week. It's almost $6. It's almost $6. It's $5, Ronnie. I thought it was $4.69. They must have shot up today. That's exactly right, baby G. Now I'm going to give y'all some tips, and you can share this out to moms. You can share this out to people with babies. You can share this out. And I'm going to tell you, if you got those friends that's been sticking their head in the sand about shortages, share this live out. Get them in here so they can learn. We're going to talk about a few things you can do if you're not growing food, if you're not fully prepared, if you're not prepared at all. We're going to give you some tips on how to get prepared so you're prepared and you're not scared. Because it's so high. That is exactly right. That's why they lock it up. They're actually putting tracking chips on steak now. There's an article you can look up about that. Yeah, the gas prices are shooting up. But here's the thing about milk, goat's milk. If you know people that make that have milking goats, or really about any goat that's going to put out milk, it's just going to be the quality of the taste. And In the end, if you ain't got nothing else, you just gotta get that baby something to eat. But goats are they're universal donors. You're gonna want to talk to your doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be raise gas prices in red states. They're raising gas. I don't know. California's done hit $10 on Memorial Day weekend. Looks like them blue states is hurting worse than us. Yeah, there we go. But exactly right, Beanie. But here's the thing I'm going to tell you. We're here about help. We don't worry about your politics. So just shut it up. Nobody cares. We're trying to help everybody on every side. So can I say an AR-15 is good enough to get me a tank from the government? If you can get a tank, I want a tank too. You get me a tank too, brother. Oh gosh, we're going into welfare. Well, here's the thing: we wouldn't have to worry about welfare if we had people giving people the general knowledge to grow their own food. If we had city common areas where people could grow their own food. You know, we give so much breaks to corporations. We give so many breaks to different groups. They should have to, if they're getting these tax breaks and they got open ground on their property, that should become a city common. And that should allow for people that don't have enough land to grow to go and grow. That would eliminate so much of our problem. During World War II, Victory Gardens supplied about 40% of the food that America consumed. So if you really want to solve homeless problem, if you really want to solve hunger that is existing in America, it's not going to be solved by welfare. It's going to be solved by teaching people skills again. Skills are not hard to teach people when they want to learn. Skills are not hard to learn. Skills that don't cost a lot of money to teach if you have volunteers in the community. So if you're in here and you're talking about welfare states and you want to do handouts and whatnot, hey, then you're a prime volunteer to go out and teach people how to grow food. But you're going to have to help us vote in this City Commons Act. We're going to have to start protesting. We're going to have to start doing these things. We're going to have to start getting out there and pushing both sides to start making these corporations that's getting these tax breaks. Now, like Google down here, they come in and clear cut tons of land, federal land, that they're renting for $1 for 99 years. That's their lease. They pay $1. They got the whole property that TVA bought down here. They got tons of property open. That should be a city common. If they're getting the tax breaks that they're getting and they're getting that land for the price that they're getting, they should be allowing those that do not have enough land, people in apartment buildings, people in the project homes, to have a plot of land to grow food. But you've got I kid you not, homemade mountains over. They've run all the deer out of, their habitat. Google, eco-friendly over. They've created themselves a giant fortress on what used to be Phalo farmland. Yeah, food sanctuaries, exactly. That is a great idea, Rainbow Matrix. We need a Food Sanctuaries Act that if these people are getting this land, they're getting federally funded. Your tax dollars are funding them. They should have to give up those little man-made hills and all that green grass surrounding their giant facility that they're making billions of dollars off of. They should have to allow the communities to come in as far as 50-mile radius to come in and grow food. That would solve a lot of your problem. You would have people that would be able to grow more than what they could eat. Let's talk about taters. The Irish, you ever heard of the Irish potato famine? Well, here's the thing about the Irish. Before that famine, their food was based on potatoes. Yeah. This is a hot pride event. Thanks for hosting. Whatever you say, pick a road, American. You can have all the pride you want in here, as long as you don't try to force it on us. Because I do prayer in here. I'll just let you know. I'll be praying for you. Be praying for everybody in here. If that offends you, I can't help you. You do you. I'm going to do what the Lord has got me doing. So there you go. You don't try to impose on me. I don't try to impose on you. We can occupy the same space. Well, let's talk about taters. Now, let's say there's a famine. One of the easiest things to grow is potatoes. Here's the thing about the Irish and potatoes that can be said. They were a peasant clash. They were a peasant class of people, but it said they were the healthiest peasantry that had ever been seen because they would consume 6 to 12 potatoes a meal. I believe it was. That may have been a day. But they had their skin looked good. They had the good, strong young men that the British Army liked to send out to war. They would they actually had good teeth. Y'all know some of them folks over there in London didn't have no good teeth. They were able to eat the British military tack. Potatoes, I'm not going to say potatoes can save the world, but I'm going to say potatoes can save the world. Potatoes. But I'm going to tell you, you can grow potatoes. I literally pulled 5 today. I just took my first round of potatoes. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing, man? Hey, Red 8, good to see you, man. Let's share this out, folks. Let me know where you're from in the comments. Let's share this out. Let's get some of them folks that's got the head in the sand in. But let's talk about this. I just took 5 pounds of potatoes off of where I planted 4 whole potatoes. Now that's a bunch of plants bunched in together, and I was able to get 5 pounds of potatoes just off those 4 little plants that I had bunched together. Now we're talking about a raised bed. It's probably about maybe 15 foot long, maybe 3 foot wide. I've raised it up. I planted potatoes. It's impossible to mess up a potato. I'm gonna tell you now. I picked these young. I don't even have to peel these taters here, Red 8. Jeremy, I don't got to peel these right here. Now Jeremy's got a whole good solid farm going. Got some special chickens at you. Yeah, we've got hitchings. We got chickens set in to hatch right now as well. Braden is working on getting another incubator set up. We've got the small one set up, so we're getting more food production going. Famine. If you've seen the title, Famine Rising. I want you to think about this. What if tomorrow you went into the grocery store and the shelves, mind you, probably were half bare, but what little bit was there was like quadruple the price. It's already happened. Don't say it can't happen. Or green toxic. Patient boy. Or green toxic. What are you talking about the plants? Green potatoes are toxic. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they are. Trade you potatoes for one of your cows. Red 8, you better get some taters in the ground. Red 8 lives by the ocean. Bill Felder, 12-pound roosters and 11-pound hens. Dang. Them are going to be big. Them are going to be big, yeah. So it's been established in the comments. They got talking about green potatoes. Green potatoes are toxic. Don't be eating them green taters. Wait till they're ripe. Is that what you call it when taters are done ripe? Isn't right here good and ripe? But no, I would definitely if you're this is my first year planting taters, so some things I learned. This is what my brother told me. He's grown taters before. You can start harvesting some taters, and then you take that dirt and heal it back up around that plant, and you can go and get another little harvest of potatoes. Red 8's gonna be he's going to be getting fat during. He's got mangoes, avocados, oranges, sugar cane, the ocean, and more rabbits than you can imagine. I was about to say, you got crab down there, you got shrimp down there, you got prawns down there, you got when the red snapper season hits, Lord help, there's so much down there you can eat. So the ocean, if you're near the ocean, just make sure you got plenty of firearms and get out there and start fishing. Set you some traps. But if you just had a few chickens and some tater plants going, you'd have a start. That's what I'm going to say. There are greens like rocket, lettuce, spinach. They'll go up quick. You can even grow a lot of these greens into the winter. We got to start stepping up that food production. The sorghum. Are you doing that for feed purposes, Jeremy? See, Red 8 brought that up a while back, and that's something I didn't look in. I didn't really think about putting out there. Salt is one of the most important parts of prepping. If you live near a feed store, go buy you a bunch of salt block. I believe you can even take the road salt and you can use it if you put it in like a spice grinder, and use that. So you're going to make feed and molasses. All right, there you go. So you can make molasses out of sorghum. I was thinking that that come out of a. I guess I was thinking it come out of a tree. Maple syrup. Are you going now? Doesn't molasses come? Don't you get molasses out of maple trees? Shotgun's unhappy. He was in there with the boys. Not sure what he's doing. They may have stuck him back in his case because they don't want to deal with him. But I'm gonna do a share out. Let's see if we can get this thing cranking again. Now in the morning, I guess I got too used to them morning lives. For some reason, in the morning, I can get up to about 300 or 400 people at a time in here. We usually stay at about, right here lately, we've been staying at about 60 or 70. Sometimes there for about 20 minutes, we had about 100 people on this morning. So we'll get them in here, and then we'll have a bunch of trolls too. Seems that, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems that the trolls seem to push the views. The more trolls you have to deal with, the more likely you are to have views. That's crazy, ain't it? Oh, you boil sorghum for molasses. All right, now that's awesome, Patience. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So is road salt toxic? I thought I read one time. Maple syrup is from, okay, maple syrup is from maple trees. Oh, that's cool, Bunny. I figured you's tired. Now here's something I've heard about. I got Morton salt. About 10 minutes from me. I got a lot of salt. There you go. There you go. Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Sometimes when I'm waking up, it ain't that wonderful. Beanie can tell you. Hey, some of the mornings I'm sitting there about half going, and then I get in an argument of trolls. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, gun control. Because gun control is like the only politics that I will argue about, and it's really not political, but they make it political. But yeah, Biden, sexy vegan. You know the rules. You know the rules. We don't talk politics in here. Her brains don't engage. Beanie comes in. I'm so tired, and I'm in there. Beanie, I'm tired with you. We'll have a good live. We'll have a couple trolls come in. The Sunday morning lives we'll have. There you go. Listen to Beanie. Listen to my friend Beanie. I got a couple mods in here today. What are you doing, Stanley Bowen? Good to see you, my friend. So Bo too. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. Stanley Bowen, is that your one of your part of your tags? So Bo too. I don't know. Sometimes people have 2 or 3 different names on here. Joe Cillian, good to see you. Assault rifles are for killing people. Well, I didn't know that. I killed a deer with one. How in the world did I do that? How in the world did I kill an 8-point buck with an AR-15? Dadgummit. That deer should know that it didn't have to die like that. That's only a people bullet. That's only a people bullet. A 5.56 round. You know they make 2.23 single shot rifles. Do you know that if you took that single shot rifle with you out in the woods, you could kill a deer, but a pack of coyotes would kill you? You're gonna be able to take on a whole pack of coyotes that's hungry with a single shot shotgun, single shot rifle? No, you're gonna need a force multiplication unit. Your mods are worse than Democrats. All right. Now I get one I get to kick out because I told y'all to leave my mods alone. You don't bother my mods. And I know this is just a ghost account. There was somebody that got kicked out come in. But here's the thing, ghost accounts. We're going to get our daggum lawyers on it. They're gonna subpoena your IP addresses. We're gonna track it back to you. We're gonna go talk TikTok, and they're gonna probably they're gonna do a full IP ban on you. The only way you're gonna be able to do it is if you're a hacker. And then we got hacker friends we're gonna talk to. We got hacker friends around the world and in the U.S., and we're going to talk to them about you. They don't like folks fooling with us. Toadies can be vicious. See, a lot of these folks, yeah, I blocked him, Beanie. They don't mess with my mods. You don't come in here messing with my mods, people. Yeah, no politics at any time. We never care about the politics. 9/11, Lord help. If you didn't know it was a conspiracy at this point in time, I don't know what, but I do believe a lot of innocent people got killed because of it. The most important thing in my life, Jesus Christ. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. What the heck? We get in all kinds of trouble down here in Alabama moving rifles from cars. I mean, heck, Lord help, we carry guns everywhere. You know, in Alabama now, they've made free open carry and free concealed carry. It's just constitutional, straight constitutional carry. Oh, Lord, Prepper Nation, I'm not ignoring you. I just got so many comments coming all at once. I tried, I thought you was one. Let me see if it'll let me add you. Yeah, my number exceeds the limit. I got a bunch of mods that was in here about every time in the evening. Now they're gone. So it won't let me. Obviously, there is a cap on mods. White privilege. Oh, Lord. No politics. You take your social justice up out of here. We hate everyone equally. We hate white people and everybody that's people. We got an equal hatred for everybody, dadgummit. Benny's done kicking them out. You know the only people we like around here? That's our friends. And we don't care if they're black, white, Mexican, Hispanic, Asian, crazy. We don't care if they're trans, bi, gay, any other one of them letters in there. As long as you don't come in here causing problems, starting your bull crap about politics, and you won't talk about some prepping, and you don't mind me praying and talking to Jesus, and you don't go pushing your garbage on me, and I don't got to push your garbage on your garbage on you. There you go. I don't give a dang. In South Carolina, they're still working on gun laws. Huh. I try not to guide people wrong, Prepper Nation. Thank you, Stanley Bowen. It's not nothing I do intentionally. It's something I've done unintentionally for years now. I didn't even know I had an accent until I met you people. Man, it sounds like you got bad neighbors, Patience. I'm playing. Ryan, I'm just joking with you, man. You take yourself way too serious. Well, I mean, every day there's a new plant getting burnt down. There's another law, ignorant law being made to make it even worse. Every day, 007-ish, we see another thing happening that makes me just not trust the powers that be and want to tell you to grow your own food. See, that's the thing. Grow you some food. You won't have to be worried. You won't have to be scared. Alabama. Yeah. Jeremy, you got to watch hanging out with old Prepper Nation over there. Old Ryan gets bananaed every time I turn around. He'll come back with a whole neck beards or the new mullet. And I know, I'm telling you. Old Billy Ray made a whole career out of a mullet. Maybe one day I'll have a great career just off of my neck beard. Ding, 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 ding. Growing food is great. Salvage stores? What in the world? Well, I mean, they're just going to move them on the back road. They ain't never heard of yard sales? You going to ban yard sales? Oh, my gosh. Well, what about upcycling? I thought that was a thing. People don't like the truth. We're going to ban yards. I'm going to just have a garage sitting open. It ain't a junk store. About every other day, we're going to be in there with a bunch of junk. And if you got some money, we're not going to tell you no if you hand me some money and take it out. I'm not going to say yay or nay. I don't know. I might be and I might not be. There's times I go through having really good views, and then there's times I don't. I just always marked it up to the fact that, I mean, sometimes you just don't like what I'm putting on there, and other times you do. Seems like when I repost like news, like really hyperbolic news. I get really good views on some of that. Sometimes when I'm out in the woods making stuff, I get good views. And then I'm here lately. I've got about 1,000, over 1,000 views on every video I post, except something to do with anything to do with trying to sell stuff, like ReadyWise. The new tactical rope dispenser. We got this new tactical rope dispenser, by the way, on the website. Link in the bio if you're looking for one. Also, we also have a affiliate link on there for Phoenix Light. If you're looking for an awesome tactical light, go ahead and go get you one. ReadyWise, if you're looking to stock up, these are one of the few that's still selling to the public. E29 TEN, all caps. That'll save you 10% at ReadyWise. And I got some videos coming up. We'll see you later, Mr. Stanley Bowen. You got your ReadyWise? Heck yeah, Benny. What patients say? What the heck? I must be getting censored to some degree. If it's not 80s or 90s, it's not rap music. I can go with that. Bobby Smith, LaVon Hughes, Annette Brown, Ashley Van Omen. Chris, you still on here? Chris usually the one that's hanging in there. Sam Sisk, welcome in, my friend. West Side Gun. Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of people that has told me they hadn't seen anything of mine. All right, buddy, heck yeah. You tag me in it and we'll get it up there. Well, patience, I guess you just going to have to come hunt me up every day. Because I put stuff on every day. They don't share that with people. I'll see my views. I'll go through times. I'll see my views get good. And then here's one thing that did happen. I got tagged for hateful behavior on a video because I didn't look at what the caption generator said. And it had an actual racial slur that popped up. And I was talking about a kerosene heater. And they put up something that was crazy. And so I got a violation. Well, I filed against it. There you go, patience. You stalk the heck out of me if you want. You wouldn't be the first one I've had online. I honestly don't. Jeremy sent me an accept. Oh, he's live. What are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on?
I was just sitting here talking now. Heck, everybody left, so I just started carrying on. What you been doing? I ain't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I've been playing, been getting stuff done, getting stuff in. Got a bunch of pole beans in, got a bunch of freaking corn and a bunch of squash and stuff, and put a couple rows of sorghum in and a bunch of tomatoes and everything else. And
hit that invite. It don't matter if y'all give us money or not. Usually, though, because TikTok's greedy, that'll push our live out more. So you have definitely stepped up food production then.
Oh yeah, so we got 3 new goats. We went through and we hatched out a whole bunch of chickens. We're talking a ton of chickens. For 4 chickens, 1 rooster, and 3 hens. We hatched out somewhere close to 30 chickens total.
So you're what are you growing? Are you going to grow out most of them and butcher them, or are you going?
I adopted a bunch of them. I'm keeping a bunch of them for eggs, and then the Beeley filters will be used for meat and eggs. They just started hatching yesterday, and out of 20 some odd eggs, we've already got 11. Actually 12 now, and we've got a whole bunch more eggs rocking and rolling and starting to peep. So,
always be prepared. Wants to know what a bunch. What's a bunch? 50 or 500?
As far as a bunch of what? Which?
What are you talking about? You talking about thanks, Pacey. Steve's telling you to grow some radishes. It's going crazy over here.
We did radishes this year, but we really didn't get all that many radishes.
Yeah, my radishes didn't do good.
Yeah, now one thing that did turn out really good this spring was turnips.
Okay.
We did really good for turnips this year.
I'm gonna have to get out there and check my turnips, see how they're doing. That don't sound good, does
Potatoes
it?
in.
I ain't seen them in a while.
If you go, one thing I've been trying to tell a lot of people to do is to grow sweet potato slips and plant them wild, and then that way they're just there.
So they just keep coming
They'll
back.
hold the whole.
No,
Yeah, well, they'll just take over a whole area.
dang.
You can feed it. You can feed the leaves and stuff to chickens and goats. You can eat them yourself, but also too, the taters just sit right there in the ground until you're ready to pick them out.
And see, Ryan, he's bringing up it's hard how hard it is to grow in Texas. I would say he'd probably have to do some heavy mulching, and that way the ground would stay fairly moist. If you can do some planting with some wood chips, that's going to be your best bet. Beanie is talking about her gardening and doing good at all, but it's her first year. You know, that's the good thing though. Next year you're going to know more just from doing it. That's been always been the case with me. I've killed everything the first year I grew it, except taters.
Our first year of growing a garden here in Kentucky, we were so used to growing a garden in California that we watered it too much and killed everything.
Yeah.
Because in Kentucky you don't have to water at all. And where we're at, you don't have to. If you got to water, it's like once in a blue moon. And like if you hit a dry spell for like 2 or 3 weeks. But in California, you've got to water at least once every other day. Depending on where you're at.
Now Ryan from Prepper Nations, he's saying that the heat hurts the leaves. He could probably use some shade cloth, couldn't he?
Could use some shade cloth. Which plant is he talking for?
What plants are you talking about, Prepper Nation? What's some good heat resistant stuff that he could plant?
Well, peppers and tomatoes, obviously.
Yeah.
Peppers love freaking heat. Another thing that you can do around those peppers is you can plant peppers and tomatoes. You can plant onions around those. And so between those three, I mean, that's a bit right there. And the onions, something about the onions, they're a sister plant to both tomatoes and peppers. But don't put your peppers and tomatoes in the same containers if you don't have to.
Have you ever had them cross pollinate before?
Once I think I did, where I got some spicy tomatoes, but it was one of those just oddball. Normally they stay kind of to themselves without too much of an issue. It just depends on how greedy your bumblebees are.
Now I had some heirloom Amish tomatoes I planted. And then I planted sweet peppers. So all the pepper plants died, and the tomato I got mostly just good tomatoes. But then I had this one, and it came up, and it's weird. It was a pepper mater, a pep mater, and I won that. But we wasn't nobody really trying to win. But we're gonna try it again. We'll do a rematch. See, if you're making money, so that's good. We made a little money. I made about 50 cents, I think. TikTok's like, hey, we're going to push this out here and see who else we can get in here. But yeah, I had these pep maters that come up. That's what, I don't know what else. What would you call them? Meppers? Some meppers?
I don't know. Now, here's the funny thing. Both peppers and tomatoes and potatoes are all related. They're all nightshades.
Huh, okay.
Same with eggplant.
So I didn't know all that. I know Granny.
That's why you can't eat the leaves.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the nightshade, that's the poisonous leaf, man. But yeah, so all I know is Granny used to plant tomatoes, and that's the first thing I wanted to start learning. Thanks, Pace. The thing, my mind just went completely blank. Oh crap, I had a thought. Oh yeah, those pep maters. I'm gonna explain to you what they look like. You know how a pepper's hollow on the inside? And you got all the seeds, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Now, then you think about a tomato. You know how they got the gel-like little pockets of seeds?
Yeah.
All right, so the combination, it was red on the outside, but on the inside it was hollow, except where normally the pepper seeds would be. There was this little weird gelled-like pepper seed or seeds sticking out. I had no clue what I'd get if I replanted it, and I never did. It's not in
I
front
bet
of
you it'd be pretty similar to a San Manzano, like a paste tomato.
Okay, now I've not heard of them before. You're going into
It, it's a type of Roma. All right, so
okay,
Roma, all your tomatoes that have less water content to them are what's called a paste tomato. That's
okay.
what they use for like tomato paste. That's what they use for their sauces. That's why Romas and stuff are as dense as they are and don't have so much liquid to them. Is because they're meant for more of the paste. It's easier for them to cook down.
Um, so I didn't realize they had tomatoes just for paste because Granny and them on that they just made them all out of the same garden tomatoes. Paste,
Now,
juice.
now one thing I'm trying this year is the little cherry tomatoes how they're always like have a whole ton of flavor to them.
Mm-hmm.
Is I'm gonna try and make some sauce out of those.
That'd take a whole lot. Those have always been some of the best producers that I've had. Is the little grape and cherry tomato. Have you now? Do you do the vibrating the blooms on your on your tomato plants?
No, luckily here in Kentucky, where I'm at in Kentucky, we have so many bees because everybody. So we have in our town we have Kelly Beekeeping and Stromberg's Chickens. They're the same company, and they do all the beekeeping stuff. So like half of our county all does honey and beekeeping.
Huh.
And so there's so many bees around that there's just no need to.
We got a lot of folks doing bees around here, but I always go out there to them tomato plants because I don't have but about I think I got 10 tomato plants and I've always went out and I'll just start tapping them flowers and they all start blooming if you do that because you got the male part up in the top of the bell and then the female part at the opening. That's exactly right. Always be prepared. Always be prepared. Said there, some lady is using a personal pleasure device to vibrate her plants to pollinate. It'll work. So, ladies, tell your friends if you're growing tomatoes. Here's how you bring up your production. You just go out there and you vibrate them flowers.
There are a lot of greenhouses that do that. A lot of those hydroponic greenhouses do that where they'll go through and they'll use either a paintbrush or they'll use a Q-tip or they'll use a flower and I have seen it where they'll use an electric toothbrush and they'll go through.
I thought she's about to say I have seen it where they use.
I come in here twice.
I thought you was in here. He got his shotgun over there. You hear that shotgun? Patience is doing the. She's doing the hydroponics. So Patience, there you go. There's how you, if you didn't know already, there's how you grow the. That's how you grow the. Get the tomatoes. I'd say it gets it up to 99.9% production. Beanie's just sent that emoji like this.
Now, one thing that a lot of people don't do that we do, and I learned when I was living in California when I was a kid, because we've always had peppers, we've always had tomatoes and stuff like that, is that until about the middle of June, you should pull all your flowers. Pull all the flowers and let all that concentration, all of that energy get put towards roots and branches and leaves and let them get bigger. And then after that, they'll be able to support a lot more flowers and a lot more tomatoes and stuff. And your tomatoes will actually come out bigger.
So you're saying pull the flowers off of them at the beginning for how long?
I usually do until about the middle of June, but it depends on where your area is. Like your guys' grow season is a little bit longer than mine, so you'd probably be able to do it up until about the end of May, or possibly into May. Like right now, that house, your plants will go and then they'll hit a growth spurt after they hit so big. I'm just now starting to hit that growth spurt. But before that growth spurt hits, before they really start rocketing up, you want to pull those flowers so that they're not concentrating on putting fruit out when they should be concentrating on growing and putting roots down.
Now, Beanie's saying that more stress, the hotter the jalapenos, so less water. Ryan was saying, he's getting his watermelons and squash down there in Texas. So we're gonna have to help him out. Everybody, just reach your hand towards the screen, start praying for Prepper Nation's garden. Lord, touch his garden. He don't know how to grow stuff in the heat. down there in Texas, Lord, you just help him find some little old lady that can just take him under her gentle wing and teach him how to grow a garden in Texas. Praise the Lord. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. And, but yeah,
Now, now speaking of old ladies, they'll teach you how to garden. Almost every extension office in every county will either have one of those ladies that will teach you, or they will have you. They can hook you up with a master gardener program for your area.
for real. Well, now, where you?
And
How are we finding these folks?
All right, so every county that has any agriculture whatsoever has an extension office, an agricultural extension office. It's usually run by the state college. And for us, it's the University of Kentucky. Now, the thing is that those extension offices, the agricultural extension offices, will go through, they will help you with, they'll show you how to test your ground. They'll tell you how to set, we do classes in ours for fencing. We do classes on ours for, if you've got to get your licensing for your any kind of chemicals or anything like that, fertilizers and stuff like that, because out in Kentucky, we have to have licenses for that.
Okay.
They go through, they do canning classes, they do cooking classes, we're talking, it's like an all-in-one shop. And if I had never come out here, I would have never known about it.
See, that's the thing we need some youngins coming in behind them. Now, John Duncan, he's asking how he can produce in a high clay content soil. I'm thinking it's going to take some composting and fertilizing.
We have a high clay content soil.
We do too.
So what we do is we, depending on we do raised beds, but as far as my stuff out in the actual bed, like my big beds, where we've actually tilled and done all that, we'll till twice, we'll till once, and then we'll wait another week, and then we'll till again. And then what we plant out there is we're planting corn, we're planting beans, we're planting squash and stuff like that, because it can survive that clay content.
So you're doing a Three Sisters method there?
We do them in rows. We don't necessarily put them all together, but we do them in rows, and then we'll cycle them through. The thing is that after everything's said and done, at the end of the year, I'll go through and I'll knock all that stuff down and I'll till it in.
Yeah.
And then that way it just spreads it all in, it spreads it all out, it spreads all those nitrates and everything out, and then the next year you'll end up with better stuff. Not only that, during the wintertime, for those high clay content, get yourself a round roll of hay or a bunch of hay and put it down on the ground in the fall.
I was supposed to say,
the winter, kind of cook that down. Yeah, break that down into the ground, and then the next year till that down into it. And I'm telling you what, after about 2 years, you'll have dark soil.
I've done that. I've done that down there in one of my gardens. I ain't done it in 2 or 3 years, but the year after I did it, you could pull that hay that was still there back. Man, there was worms everywhere, and that's exactly what you want, because them castings, the worm castings, they're basically a cold manure. So you don't have to worry. It's just natural fertilization. One of the things about, you've got to, like, that's why I told Prepper Nation to do that heavy mulching. That's basically what that is. It's heavy mulching, and then it's adding to the soil as it degrades, and then you're gonna be adding potassium back if you adding like your compost and like your fruits that have rotted or been eaten by the bugs, and then you're going to be adding in the nitrates, like you said, with beans. Or you can grow clover. You can grow your clover crop in the beginning. It'll come up early spring, and then till it under.
There's another trick you can use that he can do now. So you take all your weeds, all your grass clippings, all that stuff. Put it in a big 55-gallon drum and put about 2-3 gallons worth of that stuff, or even fill it up a quarter of the way and fill the barrel up to the top with water. Then you strain all that stuff out of it and use that water after it's steeped into a really heavy tea, like a week, 2 weeks later. Take that and spray your area with it. Don't spray the plants, but spray the ground and underneath the plants. and that will fertilize the living heck out of everything.
Oh, yeah.
Nitrates, potassium, calcium, all of it. It all just goes right back into the ground without having to fight as much. Then you take what's left over, all that sludge left over, and you throw that in your compost.
Always.
So many microorganisms, it'll break it all down.
Always be prepared is talking about the chicken manure. Chicken manure is that's a very valuable resource around here.
That's a hot manure as well. You got to be careful not to.
Got to compost it. Rabbit manure. Now that and goat manure are both cold manures.
Yeah, we take our chicken manure and I put it down, and I'll either throw it in the fall up or the spring before planting, but we'll go through and we'll you take that and you make a tea out of it as well, and you can spray that or pour that over your planting beds and stuff like that, and it'll just kind of settle the nutrients back down into the soil without burning everything.
Have you ever watched The Biggest Littlest Farm? It's like a big movie. Yeah, they did something similar to that with worm castings, didn't they? They sprayed it everywhere.
Yeah, they did. And the thing with that is, so
yeah, he wasn't supposed to be put up. I'm sorry. They put the dog up.
When you have worm castings, when you have animal poop like that, it still has microbes from the animal's guts in it, and it leaves the poop and goes into the soil, and that's what helps. Those microbes are what help break everything down and provide the nutrients for all the plants. That's what provides all the nutrients for the fungi and for all the other stuff to help make stuff grow. And it's just it's a round process to it. It's a circular process. But the thing is that once you get that started, it takes off like a chain reaction. After you start doing that, after about 2 years, you won't have to do it again because it's already got that system going.
Yeah. So that's the thing that you see. If y'all hadn't seen The Biggest Littlest Farm, go watch it, because they explain you're not farming by yourself after so many years, because like anything they had to kill, they ended up needing later on. They were restoring the soil, and I believe it was high clay content because all the topsoil had been washed away. So they basically just spent $50,000 on a worm farm and sprayed all the worm castings into the soil, planted cover crops like clover, and then the way they set up their soil and set up their garden beds, basically everything allowed the water to go down, suck the water down into the soil. So when everybody's crops were getting washed out, their soil was soaking it in like a sponge, and they had some of the most lush crops you would see coming in.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those things that I tell people all the time. I'm like, you really have to think about the way the cycle works and where your farm is at, what you're growing is at. If you're just starting out, if you're just starting off and this is your first year doing anything, and you've got a bunch of buckets with topsoil in it, that topsoil has been sterilized. It's been sitting in a bag, and it's been doing nothing for however long. So unless you pull that out and that topsoil is already turning white because it's rotting, you've got to add some stuff to it, or else nothing's going to grow very well in it. It'll grow and it'll do okay, but you won't get the best out of it.
Now Beanie's saying she needs a small tiller. Beanie, I check Craigslist, pawn shops, and anywhere you're going to buy like a cheap lawnmower, there's usually going to be a couple of tillers over there. That's probably the last competition we're going to do on there, because I'm about to have to get off and eat some supper, Jeremy. You ready to go, buddy? I'll just decline it. I'm about to hop off. I was going to ask you what you thought about this while you're still on here. You done froze up. Is he still up? There you are. I have a new product. I'm putting some together. I've got.
Yeah, I'm here.
This is going to be the Chaos Camp Kitchen. That's one of the names I'm fielding. So you've seen these containers. Let me get this out. You've seen these canteen sets, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know the old Stanley Adventure Cup set?
I got several of them. I used one overseas. It was great.
So this is not a Stanley set, but it's modeled after it. It's a 1 liter Stanley pot. So I'm building this kit. I've took the bush pot that comes with a canteen set. The handles are going off this one, but I'm making a canteen set, and this one right here, this pops down in here, but I can fit that handle comes loose. Both the lids fit down in this mesh bag, but I'm putting these together. I'm gonna be selling these soon. I've got this bottle bag, and I'm gonna put these are gonna come with a 1 liter Ziploc bag. So I'm gonna be putting some water purification tablets in here and a small propane stove. I may be able to get a can of butane set on top of that. And so you'll have basically everything you need for a kitchen and for immediate water, and then long-term water you can just be boiling. And I'm thinking about maybe putting a dry bag and folding it up down here.
Can I make one suggestion?
What's that?
Get yourself a rag or something like that, like a cotton rag.
Yeah, I was good.
Or like a cotton towel.
Yeah, I was gonna put a cotton handkerchief.
That won't burn.
Yeah. I was gonna. What I'm gonna
do one that doesn't burn.
Do one that doesn't burn, like.
You need something to hold the hot. Yeah, so you can use it as a hot pad. Not only that, you can use it to scrub out whatever when you're cleaning it off.
Well, what I'm thinking about doing, I'm gonna put 2 100% cotton handkerchiefs in there, and they can use one for a wicking filter, or they can put it in the pots and make char cloth out of it. And so you're saying I need one that won't burn. So you're talking about like a poly blend or something?
Actually, cotton it'll smolder, but it won't melt. You want something that's not going to melt.
So
that, or either put in like a square piece of leather.
A square? Yeah, okay.
Because that square piece. Get what I'm saying?
So yeah, so
because the biggest issue that I've seen is people that aren't used to being around a fire, cooking around a fire, that burn their hands every single time.
So
always end up with one bubblehead blister on his finger.
So you're talking about using that that little leather square as a pot holder?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Now I could do like something multifunctional, like something like a silicone cup, and you just pop the silicone cup and use it, because that's heat resistant. Plus you can boil in it, I believe. And the collapsible cup would give you an option, just drink drinks or eat soup out of, and it would fit down in the bottom, because I've got a collapsible cup that would fit down in the bottom with them pot lids, and it could go in between the pot lids and the canteen without tearing it up. But I'm able to source all these. These I can get. I'm trying to remember. I think I can get these for about $5, maybe a little more. The bags themselves, the canteen sets, I'm sourcing for about like $15, $20, and then the little Stanley. It's a 1 liter pot. It's not a Stanley pot, but it's similar, but it's a 1 liter pot. So that Stanley pot I can source. I'm thinking I got one for about between $7 and $10. So it's going to be more, it's going to be some money, but it's going to be like an investment type. It's going to be like your a big part of your bug out kit if you start to build one.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to make modular kits, and that way.
One thing that I'm going to tell you that a lot of people don't really think about when they think of the bug out kit. You're using a bug out kit. If you absolutely have to use a bug out kit, you are in a serious situation. Survive, escape, resist, evade. You are trying to hide from people. Shake that kit of yours. Shake the kit.
That's where them cotton cloths will come in.
Yeah, and you're going to want to do that around everything that may move in there. and to where it's going, and you can really pack that thing full.
Yeah.
But you want to make that, and you want to make sure that you can, like I go through it. If I have molly, like that does around the outside of it,
Yeah.
I'll cinch and I'll run 550 cord around the outside of it, so I can cinch it down and tie it off, so it squeezes it together, so that there's no room in that bag.
See,
So it all holds together.
I just got in some survival cord. It's the 10-strand stuff. It's got fishing line, sewing thread, and all that. And that's actually a good idea to do with that. Of course, that pouch on the front. But yeah, I was planning on it'll be something you're going to stuff food in. You're going to have soup packets in there. What's inside there is a fish mouth spreader and the handle to the Stanley Cup. So you're going to have, you know, a probably a spork or a long spoon so you can eat out of it. But like you said, you're wanting to hide and evade. That's going to be a cold camp cook set. You're going to be able to boil water with your butane propane stove. You're going to be able to boil water. You're going to have packets like with Ready Wise or other powdered soups that you're going to boil the water, mix it in. It's going to be quieter. And yeah, that's actually a good idea because those cotton cloths, that's a good idea to wrap. And then I'm going to have to print me out just basically. You're going to have the info of how to use it. You know, you're going to know how to make char cloth from that info. You're going to know how to pack it. That's actually a good idea. I'm going to know how to pack it to keep it. But yeah, when I get these done, this is going to be a ready to go kit. Like you could actually, you know, with this one kit, you could cover all the basics. You could strap on a mag pouch on the side and put a small tarp and maybe get one of those Lord help, I'd know it if I didn't try to think of it, but one of those gun mats, those shooter's mats, and a tarp, and then a Mylar blanket, and you would have what you needed right there. You strap a knife on there. You'd always be able to throw a lighter. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Making like a hobo roll out of it.
Yeah, and see that would be the thing. It would roll up great in like a wool blanket and maybe a canvas bivvy. But I'm going to make basically a modular kit that, you know, if you ain't got the money to buy the whole kit now, you can buy this, and then you can just add to it with the modular system. Yeah. And, you know, then you're going to have the information that comes with it. You're going to have videos, because me and you both probably got videos out to yin yang about how to use this kind of stuff. Heck, something like this with the molly on it, you're going to have your cordage, like you said. You're going to be able to put your light on there or strap one of your lights. Heck, even this is one of the new things, this tactical rope dispenser. This would probably fit right down in the molly webbing. Not quite, but it at least fit on this.
The one thing with that, if you ever end up in a situation, you've got that container with you.
Yeah.
All right, hold it up to where you can show it to the camera, and then look at the dispenser, the rope dispenser.
Oh, the rope dispenser.
All right, so if that's sitting on top, you see how you have different changes in the light on that? It reflects.
Talking about that white
with a light for the sandpaper. It's shiny. It reflects.
Oh, you're talking about this. So basically, this would need to be spray painted, wouldn't it?
I honestly don't spray paint it. Hit it with sandpaper.
Yeah. That was one of my first thoughts, and then I thought it'd look a little too redneck. Of course, I don't care to look redneck, but some might.
With the spray paint, it'll chip off, and then you'll still end up with shiny stuff. But if you sandpaper it, it will stay sandpapered, and doesn't matter if it gets scratched or not, it won't reflect.
So I'm going to have a crafter's kit that I'm going to build too, and it's going to have like a jute. It's going to have a sanding sponge. You're going to have a folding saw. One of the big kits I want to do is a bow saw kit. It's going to come with tarred bank line or a buck saw kit, but it's going to come with a blade, and, you know, basically that's the kit you need to build your own buck saw out of nature. And then it'll also come with the plans. I've got a video coming up where I built my bow saw, and then I got happy and I built a chair with the Scotch eye auger.
When when you did your bow saw, did you use screws?
No, I didn't use screws. I used pegs.
Usually, if I do my stuff out in the middle of nowhere, if I'm like stuck with just a blade, I'll build the bow saw, I'll build everything to it, but I'll have the blade held by the screws. That way, if I really dig something up, freaking those screws are going to come out, and I'm not going to wreck that blade.
So you're talking about having screws in the saw blade to carry with you?
Yeah. Just two screws and a nut on either side that you can punch through the bracer bits on the angle down at the bottom where the blade is held. And that's why I hold those with. Because if you really get into a bad bind, instead of tearing up your saw, you can unscrew those and take the saw blade out, or you can go through and it will break those screws. It'll break that branch before it will freaking break your saw blade.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where it's like you're really needing that tool and all of a sudden it breaks and it's toast. And
I've been in a couple of them situations. One of the things I thought about with these canteen sets, if I turn these into like a big solid survival kit, man, that's pretty loud. That's that fish mouth spreader. Pretty silent once you got it empty. But you could take one of those saw blades and nest it down in here. You can coil it up, and then once you get out in the field, you can straighten it back out. But that was an idea that I had.
One thing that you can do with that saw blade too, and a lot of people aren't willing to do it, but if you're keeping that just for an emergency situation, coat that saw blade with Vaseline. It'll keep that saw blade from rusting, but also too, you can take that Vaseline, wipe it off on the cattail or what have you.
Fire starter.
Yourself a fire real quick.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea. If I do something, huh? What'd you say?
I used to teach this stuff.
You say you've been teaching this stuff?
I used to. This is what I did. This was my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And I still got pictures somewhere of me freaking teaching me standing in front of a whiteboard teaching soldiers all this stuff.
Trippy, he's wanting to know what the subject. We're talking about preparedness, survival skills. He said just soda blast it. Prepper Nation's wanting to get together and do a survival camp. Prepper Nation, if you're not following Jeremy, give him a follow because he goes to a big convention. You go ahead.
He is. Heck, tomorrow I'm going tomorrow afternoon to go teach a class on everyday carry.
Okay. So y'all had that big prepper meetup. It was like on a big 10-acre stretch. The FBI come in and checked on y'all. And
yeah, it was funny. He came in like a sore thumb and got walked right back out. After we showed him everything was good, and I was like, you completely.
Now, Doomsday podcast. He's going to some kind of prepper camp they're fixing to be doing in North Carolina. So that they're starting to pop up more and more of them.
Now there was just a huge homesteading class just south of Nashville. Kevin Costner was there. There was a whole bunch. Temple Grandin was there. There was a whole bunch of people there, and
thanks, Trippy.
Advertising it for a bit. But the only reason why I didn't go was it was like $800 for a ticket.
Where was it at?
To go. It was down just south of Nashville. It was a big homesteaders thing. They were doing everything from full care of animals to freaking butchering to freaking plant medicinals to freaking all. We're talking everything.
I'm trying to figure out where it was. I'm south of Nashville. I'm like 2 hours from Nashville.
It was huge. If I find it, I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture of it.
You got my email still. Did I give you my phone number?
No, we didn't go that far.
I need to send you my phone number.
When I find that, I'll let you know. I know next year if they're running it, depending on if they're still doing it in Tennessee, I may go to it next year.
Yeah.
The only reason why I didn't do it this year was it was $800. I just spent a whole bunch of money on the spring camp that we were in.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go through and throw a bunch of money at that and end up freaking more strapped than I was.
Say Kevin Costner was there. Now has he gotten into that?
Him and his band. It was him and his band. They were doing music for it.
Oh hey, so is he big into homesteading since Yellowstone, or is that what?
He's been into that. He's been into the whole ranching and the cowboying and all that stuff since Dances with Wolves.
Okay, yeah. Well, I know he was raising bees on his property because some rich lady was complaining about taxes. He was getting a tax break for having beehives.
Oh yeah, and as long as you don't have over a certain amount of beef, you get a tax cut.
Huh?
And it was one of those things that is federally. Now the thing is that with him, he had just that right amount. And so that he didn't have to claim anything or do anything, but also too he could sell his beef. But also he has LLCs, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't get. Is that when you get into a farm, when you get into an actual commercial farm, you need to be under an LLC.
Yeah, and my brother.
Who you are, because if you're selling as your personal farm and it's just you personally, and there's no LLC, let's say somebody gets a tomato, and one of your kids decide that he was going to go take a dump in the garden, and all of a sudden E. coli spread all over all your vegetables, and somebody gets sick from that.
Yeah.
They have to go after you. Now, if you have an LLC, they have to go after the LLC, and the worst that they can do is bankrupt it.
Yeah. I'm fixing to have to get an LLC, before I get heavy into this. But yeah, you're right. My brother, he does all that. He's got 2 or 3 farms, and he actually mainly does construction, but he's got farming on the side, and all the businessmen around here have farms, and they're all under LLCs, and they use them for the tax write-offs, but they all grow their own food.
An LLC is a limited liability company, which means that you are limited. You are liable very limitedly.
Yeah, they can't get you
in the situation.
That's the thing. The rich folks don't own nothing. The LLC owns everything.
The only way that they can get you with that LLC is if they can prove that you did it maliciously.
Yeah. Now, Prepper Nation, he's talking about. He said Jennifer Aniston is a homesteader too. Do you know Jennifer Aniston was big in the homestead? I didn't realize that. I've always liked Jennifer Aniston since Friend days. That was my first crush.
There are so many Hollywood folk that are homesteaders. Like that one dude that the new guy that's playing in Jurassic Park, the like lead guy that.
Oh yeah, Chris Pratt.
And all that stuff. Yeah, he's a homesteader. He raises goats.
That makes a lot of sense, and I've seen some stuff about him and them goats. He's a real big conservative Christian. I don't know if he's conservative, but he's a big Christian, and I like him. I like everything.
Conservative. He's highly conservative.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I like him. I've always liked Chris Pratt, and he's I think he's big on guns, and he's not he's in a lot now. He's doing a lot now. Prepper Nation also said he's thinking about moving outside Nashville. That'd be a great bug out destination because there ain't nothing but farms outside there between Nashville and here. There's tons of farms.
Not only that. All right, so in Tuckasee, that's Tennessee and Kentucky. All right, in Tuckasee, it's constitutional carry. In Tuckasee, It is a conservative base all the way through. People things are going well, and people want to keep them going well, and so they don't try to rock the boat and let's change things up. We've always done it this way. It works this way. We're just going to keep it this way.
Yeah,
and they do keep it that way. And that's why when all this stuff happened in Louisville and Lexington, they were talking about going down to Nashville and starting stuff. And the mayor of Nashville was like, "No, I will make you wish you'd never done that."
They came down here where we live in Scottsboro, Alabama, and I was talking with antique store dealers, and she said there's thousands of kids there. She said, but they were standing there like wide-eyed because all the good old boys showed up in 4-wheel drives, all the old men, the sheriff, all the police from everywhere. Said Antifa rolled in on the buses. They just drove right through and drove right back out of town.
Antifa and BLM came to our town, and it came to our little county, my little county. All right, I have 800 people in my town. We have like 3,000 people in our county. They came to our county because some lady got upset and freaking sent them a message saying this was the most racist place in Kentucky. So they come down here, and here comes every family that isn't white out there going, y'all need to get the hell out of here because y'all are going to make things difficult for us. We have it good here. Freaking, because everybody here, we all know each other.
Yeah.
We say hi to each other. We see each other at the store. It's one of those things that we all are friendly here. The only people we're not friendly to are people from Louisville. That's it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the way it is around here. We don't, I was talking to one of the ladies at work. She talks a lot of truckers, and she calls them Yankees. the people from up north. She said they're so rude. They talk to you like you're just some dumb idiot. And one of the guys that was with me, he was talking about how they were at. One of them was getting real smart with him. He said, "I thought, all right, brother, I ain't gonna say nothing to you, but you'll sit out there in that truck and wait a good long time." And yeah, I mean, we don't like folks that come down and talk to you like you're an idiot. That don't work well here.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work well here either. I had a shoot a couple months ago. And about 2 months ago, and a fairly large shoot. We put up some ranges out here on the property, and everyone brought guns and all that. And we had some people that just moved out here from California. Now we were giving them a fair shake. And they come out here, and I kid you not, the woman out of the couple came out here already drinking, complaining that since people are so friendly in Kentucky, how come nobody's giving her a cow? I kid you not.
For real.
And kept saying it. Oh yeah, her husband was talking about how they were going to live a sustainable lifestyle. They were going to have chickens and slaughter them every 3 months, and they were going to eat nothing but chicken and all this other. And we're just looking at them going, "Oh my Lord!" And we go through, and so she's from Southern California. They live like maybe 25 miles from where I grew up, where I spent most of my school days. I spent my summers with my grandparents, but I spent my school days there. And I kid you not, she was talking to everybody, and she's like, "I'm working on my accent so I could fit in. I don't want to offend anybody out here. I'm working on my accent." And I'm like, oh, man, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed.
It was bad, ain't it? I'm going to tell you, at least they meant well.
After that,
At least they meant well to the degree.
To a point, but all my friends that were out here, they're like, "Please don't invite them to anything else again." I'm like, "I won't." I won't.
Well, I mean,
it was bad. You could have seen it. It was painful.
The thing that I don't care for, and it's when you bring people from an urban area, they're used to that dog eat dog, rat race kind of mentality. And they want to try and make everybody around them look worse. They want to demean you. They want to be better. I don't like their one-upmanship. I mean, if you are as good as you say you are, you don't have to do that. And I've had to deal with that with folks when I was working in the city. It was like that with some of them. Some of them were great people. Some of the best people you ever met, and they didn't care for it. They were usually quieter when those people were around. But that whole, you do that and just stoops. I'm like, you know what? It don't, at the time I worried a lot about it, but the older I got, the more I realized what that really was, that peacocking. And I'm like, that's just the stupidest thing. And like, I don't understand it. It ain't no use for it. Maybe you need it in the city, but I'd rather not be there anyways.
Honestly, if you really look at it, that all started with all the urban groups and all that. It was tribal warfare. It was the showing out to see who was tougher, who was braver. But yet nobody was really worth a damn. And it was just, and that's all it was. If you go through and you watch any of the old videos on tribal warfare in Africa, like the tribes, and even in South America they did it, where they would go through and you have a group on one side and a group on the other, and hell, they even did it in Japan all the way up until the 1800s. But the thing is that they would have one person go out and he'd show his ass a little bit and do this, that, and the other, yell a little bit, maybe throw a spear that wouldn't get even close to where the enemy was. Nobody'd get hurt. And then an hour or two later, after everyone's tired, they'll either go home, or if somebody shows their ass a little too much, they might mix it up a little bit, and somebody might get hurt.
Sounds like some
90%
David and Goliath.
Yeah, but 90% of the time, it was like a freaking those dance offs, those dance freaking fights where the one guy walks out and freaking does his little thing and then comes back and is like, all right, now your turn.
Breaking two, electric boogaloo. Well, Jeremy.
All that in.
Yeah. Buddy, I'm about to have to get off. I think my wife has just got back, and I hadn't eaten yet. But dude, it's been good talking to you. You got any closing thoughts?
Good talking to you.
Okay.
Just right now, put food back, put seeds back, and start making. Everyone needs to start making friends. They need to start knowing who's around them and who their neighbors are, and stop being antisocial. I know after COVID and all that, they were pushing for everyone to be antisocial and don't be around each other. They did that for a reason. And so now it's one of those things that everyone needs to start getting to know each other and needs to start making friends and stuff again. This isn't like elementary. Just go up and say hi to somebody.
Yeah.
Damn.
Definitely got to know your surroundings. And if you're in an urban area, you definitely need to know somebody. Don't just show up somewhere, especially wanting a cow from somebody you don't know. Because that ain't going to work. But I'm going
to sinkhole for you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That mentality is to come out, hey, give me something. I mean, there's some folks I might give something, hey, you want some of this? They might not even have to ask me, but if you come up with that mentality, you can automatically know if you give them something, they're going to be wanting more because they're not definitely going to be able to handle it. Not trusting my government. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and pray over everybody, and I got to get in here. Oh, Lord. Finally got it back to where I got some weekends off, so I'm gonna enjoy this weekend. But I'm gonna go ahead and go into the prayer.
When you get a weekend off, if you're gonna do a show, hit me up, send me a message. I get on here every bit, so I should be able to jump on when I can.
All right then, man. It sounds like a plan to me. I'm gonna go ahead and pray. I think them boys about to tear something up in there. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray, Lord God, that you just bless all of us, Lord. Help people to get prepared. And I do pray that you help this go out. We're going to have it on some other platforms. God, I pray you help it reach out to folks, Lord, and help that information get out there, Lord. Pray that you just keep us all safe during these troubled times, Lord, and lead us to that expected end that you have, Lord God, that place where you mean for good and not for evil, Lord, for a good outcome, Lord, in our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. And all said, amen. We'll see y'all folks later. Y'all have a good one, Jeremy. Thanks for coming in.
See. Prepper, send me your number on here, Prepper, for saying that you're wanting to talk on this. So.
All right. I'm gonna get you my number. That way I can holler at you about some stuff. Talk with you a little more.
All right.
All right, man. We'll see you later. Y'all have a good one, everybody.
We'll see you.